Hello everyone, this is Stastro. I'd like to welcome you to my guide on Warrior PvP mobility. Before I get into it, I'd like to thank Swifty of the server Darkspear for the initial idea of setting up the macro. Check out his videos on YouTube by searching Swifty. What we're going to cover here is mobility in PvP. That means charge, intervene, and intercept. Being able to use charge-like abilities on the battlefield is a huge advantage in PvP. I'm going to show you how to take these abilities a step further with a few simple macros. We're going to achieve this by using two macros that you will bind to two keys. The first step in setting up the macro is to make a focus target macro. This is done with the /focus mouse over command. This will allow you to easily select and set a focus target with the push of a key or mouse button without having to even target a player. Now on to the next macro. This one is much more complex than the focus, however once you've created this macro, you will only need to edit it based on who your intended intervene target is. The first line in our macro is a show tooltip command. This is not mandatory, however it simply shows the tooltip for the spell you've listed, and it also auto-selects the icon for you. The second line is also optional, however I find it very useful for when you need to close the gap between you and an intended target while you're bladestorming. It's a simple cancel aura macro, again, completely optional. The third line is going to target your intended intervene target. For instance, I will be intervening my Disc Priest friend, Oxymoron. The fourth line will be your actual stance switch and intervene cast. What this command does is changes you into defensive stance if you're not already there, and intervenes your previously set target. The fifth line will target your focus target, which you hopefully set before you've done your intervene. The sixth line will switch you into battle stance, and finally, the seventh line will cast charge. Now let's see it in effect. For the macro to be successful, you will need to spam the macro. I've set my mobility macro to a keybind, Shift+R. If your macro is correct, your targets are all within range, and you've set your focus target, your results will be what you see here. Now let's see the cancel aura macro in effect. Here I will Bladestorm, assuming that my target has sprinted away. I want to catch him. I will cast intercept as I normally would, and then begin my macro sequence. Bear in mind that intercept is not part of the macro whatsoever, and you will need to practice getting your intercepts off on targets. In short, you'll be pressing two keys to pull off this maneuver. Your intercept, which I have bound to the 1 key, and the mobility macro, which again I have bound to Shift+R. This macro and general technique will help you gain the advantage in PvP by quickly moving from target to target. Another tip to keep in mind is that Bladestorm does break some forms of crowd control, such as Roots, Frost Nova, or Chains of Ice. You can use this to your advantage if your Trinket or Human Racial are on cooldown. This will allow you to break free and begin your intercept. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the guide.